evening, everyone. My name is Brian Bigney. I'm the superintendent of schools here in Berlin. Welcome to our annual Veterans Celebration. It is a great honor to welcome you to our Veterans Day program. This evening we come together as a school community and as a town to recognize and celebrate the men and women who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Forces. To our distinguished veterans, their families, and all the special guests joining us across the town of Berlin, thank you for being here. We are deeply grateful for all your service, your courage, your sacrifice. You have safeguarded the freedoms and the opportunities that define our nation. It is our privilege to honor you tonight. I also want to acknowledge our administrators, teachers, and staff, and most importantly our students, whose efforts make programs like this possible. Through your music, art, readings, and reflections this evening, you remind us all that remembrance is not just an act of looking back. It's a promise to carry forward the values which our veterans served. As we begin this program, may we reflect on the true meaning of service, on the quiet strength, integrity, and unity that binds us as a community and as a nation. Thank you again to our veterans and their families for all you've given and continue to give. We are so proud to honor you tonight. Just so you know, we will have different events within the schools. This is an event that has gone on for years. We really believe that having school on Veterans Day and having students understand what it means to be a veteran and to educate them on that and to show appreciation is more important than just another day off where it may not be seen. So I hope the community continues to support that. This has been a great event. And veterans, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything you've done for us. And thank you for allowing this nation to thrive. Thank you. Ask everyone to stand, and I ask Grace Foster to come forward and to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Berlin High School Chorus and McGee Sound Express will now perform the national anthem. Thank you for that wonderful performance. Lenore Chowdhury will now share the history of Veterans Day and the theme of this year's program.
Veterans are proud of their military service in defending our nation. Honor reflects the military values and tradition of answering the call to duty. There is distinct honor in serving to protect our way of life and the Constitution of the United States of America. Veterans Veterans Day is a U.S. legal holiday dedicated to American veterans. In 1918, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, an armistice or temporary cessation of hostiles was declared between the Allied nations in Germany and World War I, then known as the Great War. Commemorated in many countries as Armistice Day the following year, November 11th became a federal holiday in the United States in 1913. In the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War, Armistice Day became known as Veterans Day. This year's theme is Service to Our Nation. For the 2025 Veterans Day poster contest, the Veterans Day National Committee, VDNC, called on professional and amateur artists to create picture-perfect designs that reflect the theme of this year's Veterans Day observation. The competition was tough. There were hundreds of entries from people ranging from school-age children to graphic designers with decades of experience. When all ballots were tallied, the VDNC selected the design created by Jeremy D. Carpenter. Jeremy's creation, entitled Unified by Service, reflects the theme by visually united all uniformed services under one flag and one purpose. Jeremy describes his artwork as formal, structured, and patriotic. It pays tribute to all veterans regardless of when or where they served. And it was emphasized that service to the nation is not confined to one uniform, one battlefield, or one generation. The eagle, flag, and the seals work together to portray unity, honor, and continued commitment to freedom. The Veterans Day poster will be displayed in VA facilities, military installations, and municipal buildings across America. It will also serve as a cover of the official program for the Veterans Day commemoration at Arlington National Cemetery on November 11th. We would now like to bring up Mr. Bradford Parsons from the Berlin VFW Post 10,732 to say a few words.
Thank you, Menard. Good evening, everybody. This is our 19th year with this celebration of honoring all veterans in their respective service, both in peacetime and at war. It's pretty much, and I said to the mayor before we started the ceremony, this is pretty much 100% run by the students with faculty advisement, and it's always amazed me that how much the kids, the students that is, get out of the program in preparation for putting on this evening's events. But I would be remiss if I didn't speak about some of the support at a higher level. We have Brian Benigni, who is our superintendent, who has been very much involved over the years. Appreciate that support. Our Social Studies Department Chair, Jeff Crunk, who sends me a message, lets me know that they got a program ready to go, and then they execute. So, and of course, we do get the help from Deb Batista, because Deb is always reminding me we've got activities going on. And of course, our student advisors at the McGee School, Amanda Zybrans and Craig Labadia. So I want to thank all these individuals for their support of this program. As Menor's explained this evening, this was originally Armistice Day, the 11th day of the month of November, 11th hour, set after World War I, a war that was designed or intended to end all wars. And we know that with our history that that is not the case. So we went on for many years calling it Armistice Day. It wasn't until 1954 that President Eisenhower actually signed into legislation recognizing November 11th. And that we've carried forth. So basically we're here to recognize all veterans, and this point, I'd like to know in the audience, if you would please stand, if you've ever worn the uniform of any of the armed forces of the United States, either peacetime or wartime, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service. I know I said thank you for your service, but it means a lot to a veteran. Just to know that people recognize or can tell by a simple baseball cap, a sweatshirt, a lapel pin, that you chose to raise your right hand and do something more than for yourself, but for your country. And it's that sacrifice and service that makes this country so grand. And our history really reflects that. So as we celebrate our 250th year as a country, we have to also recognize that it wasn't something that was just handed to us. It was something that we had to fight very hard for over the generations to protect. I guess the best way to honor our veterans is to take an active part as a citizen in preserving the quality of life that we have in the United States. It's important for each veteran to impart on our future generations what your service meant to you, your level of sacrifice, and what it is that you gained from your service to this country. And for the students in the audience this evening, I think it's important that you strive to be a good student and a good friend to your fellow students, leaving nobody behind and making certain that everybody's cared for. Those are the type of attributes that will serve you well as you go on throughout your life, caring for others and being unselfish, because that's something that all of us that have worn the uniform of the armed forces clearly understand. So we want to always try to make America the very best we can. And tonight we're recognizing the veterans. Our veterans know the meaning of hard work associated with training, physical fitness, deployment overseas, being away from family and friends. That is a substantial sacrifice that all men and women that have served have endured. Not everyone is good enough to serve in our military. And it goes without saying, we always look to the next generation to continue the great legacy. So tonight, we look back in honor and thank all veterans for service. And the sad truth of the matter is we are losing veterans, obviously, generationally. We don't really have, in the town of Berlin, any living World War II vets any longer, and we may have just one or two from the Korean conflict. So the next large generation of veterans that we have in our community is from Vietnam, and that are still with us, thank God. And those that served in Afghanistan, Desert Storm, Iraq, and now on the global war on terror. So, may God bless our veterans, may God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Parsons, for your support and partnership. At this time, we would like to invite Mayor Mark Kaczynski to present a proclamation.
certainly my pleasure to be here tonight, and on behalf of the town of Berlin, I want to thank, of course, happy we're here to honor our veterans today for their service and sacrifice to our country, and thank and honor your families for their sacrifice and support. As we know, the families, they go through a lot with their veterans, certainly folks that are serving overseas or anywhere in our military, so we want to honor them too for their sacrifice. I also want to thank, before I get to my proclamation, the Berlin Veterans Commission. We're very proud of their work. We have as you know, a Veterans Park that's really second to none in the state, and it honors all our veterans, and with the path, when you walk around, as you probably know, hopefully you've walked around and seen the different stations there, and it really keeps the history alive for everyone to know what our veterans have done and the sacrifices they've made. And because of that great park, we're very fortunate to have, as you also, I'm sure, are aware, the Gold Star Memorial, right, which is the only one in the state, and the Gold Star Memorial, of course, honors the Gold Star families that their loved ones gave their life for our country, and started by Woody Williams, the Medal of Honor winner on Iwo Jima in World War II. So we're very fortunate that they picked Berlin for that. Obviously, center of the state, but they picked Berlin really because of our support for our veterans and our Veterans Commission. And so we're very happy that we have that, and it does get us a lot of visitors come to town to see that, to remember their loved ones. So we're very happy to have that in our town. With that, I have a proclamation. Each year, we pause to remember the men and women who have served selflessly in America's armed forces, sacrificing a great deal, including those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom and democracy. As veterans, they deserve the respect and appreciation of all of our citizens. The citizens of the town of Berlin are encouraged to honor our servicemen and women, including those listed as missing in action or prisoners of war, and to remember those who have lost their lives in service to our country. So on Veterans Day, coming up obviously on November 11th, and our ceremony tonight, we publicly salute these sacrifices by providing programs to pay tribute to our military veterans for all that they have done and continue to do to make the world a better and safer place. So I resolve, Mayor Mark H. Kaczynski, Mayor of the Town of Berlin, we do hereby officially proclaim November 11th as Veterans Remembrance Day in the Town of Berlin. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Kaczynski. The Berlin High School Chorus and McGee Sound Express will now perform Please Say Thank You. Nationwide, this VFW-sponsored youth essay competition gives students an opportunity to write essays expressing their views on the annual patriotic week. More than 68,000 students participated last year in this contest. This year's theme is How Are You Showing Patriotism and Support for Our Country? Serena Lee and Alexa Urquioli has selected by their students to hear their work with us tonight.
I want to tell you about how I show patriotism. I think there's endless opportunities on how we can give back to our community and show patriotism. You can volunteer around you. You can join groups to pick up litter. You can donate to shelters and just help volunteer. One way you can show patriotism is picking up litter in your area. If you're ever walking around and you see litter in your way, you can just take 5 seconds out of your day and pick it up and bring it to a trash can. Picking up litter is beneficial because it protects our wildlife and keeps our planet clean and free of litter. Another big way to help to our country is donating. Donating helps because it can give to nonprofit organizations that don't earn any money, and we can also donate things that don't cost money, as in gently used clothes and things you no longer need or have grown out of. Also, speaking of volunteering, you can volunteer at places near you. I plan on volunteering this summer at animal shelters, and every summer I make a goal to try and volunteer somewhere. This is just a small portion of how we can show patriotism for our country. There are many other ways we can do it.
We show patriotism to our country. There are countless ways we can give back to our community. For starters, ways to show your dedication to your community is cleaning up the environment, and this can mean by help picking up trash at local parks and beaches, even just throwing trash in the correct bins like recycling. For example, if you see empty plastic water bottles or empty cans, you can take them and put them in the recycling bin. You can do this just at your local grocery stores. Another way to help our community and show your patriotism is volunteering. Volunteering can have multiple parts to it, like volunteering at local animal shelters, food shelters, Goodwill, Salvation Army. Lastly, another way you can show your patriotism to your community is helping out at nursing homes, grocery assistance, yard work, and tech work, which is teaching seniors to use smartphones or any type of devices. You can also help out the children at the library. For example, our town does a read and read log, and where the middle schools where the teens help the elementary and middle schoolers read and do fun activities like bingo and many more different ways of arts and crafts. Ways I contribute to my community is by donating. I donated food and toys to animal shelters for all the cats and dogs. My dad's work also runs a can drive multiple times a year, drives which I also donate to. Another way I show patriotism to my community is by volunteering. My family runs a Christmas toy and food drive for the children in the hospital. I help run and set everything up, and I also have all the toys for the children in the hospital. Lastly, there's tournaments where my family runs a tournament for the children's hospital in the NICU. We run this because my sister was once in the NICU, and they understand what parents can be going through. All the money raised goes straight to the children's hospital and the NICU. After we donate the supplies and help get new supplies, we give the nurses thank you card visits. This is how I can show my patriotism, and others can show their patriotism to their community. Thank you to all of the McKee students for sharing with us how we can all be good Americans and show our appreciation for veterans. We would now like you to enjoy a video presentation prepared by students and staff at Berlin High School.
So Veterans Day is a great day to appreciate and reflect on all the men and women who have served our nation, ultimately giving us our freedom that we have today.
For me, Veterans Day means honoring people who laid down their lives or spent important time serving the country. and devoting their time to the betterment for people who are back home.
To me, Veterans Day is a very important day as my grandpa served in the Army and my great-grandpa served in World War II.
Veterans Day means a lot to me because my grandfather, two of my cousins, and my uncle all served. My grandfather was in the Air Force. One of my cousins is currently in the Army, and the other cousin is currently in the Marines. And my uncle was in the Marines, so it's a very important day for me.
Personally for me, it's important to honor veterans because both my parents met in the Air Force. And I also think it's important to have a day to recognize people that aren't necessarily talked about that much, but are really important to our society.
It's important to honor veterans because of their sacrifices that they made for our country, and that the veterans that are still serving us, and their bravery, that they put their life out for us to protect us.
I think it's really selfless of them to serve in the military, of course, doing it literally for everybody in the country, not for themselves really. And I think it's really admiring that they're so brave to help people.
What students should remember about Veterans Day is that there are men and women who ultimately make the sacrifice and they volunteer to give you your freedom. Basically, it's a day where you should appreciate and reflect on the freedom you have today and people who have served in the past.
The following excerpts come from the article entitled Veterans, the Beacon of Unity in a Polarized Nation. The author, J.C. Glick, served in the Army, and over the course of his career, J.C. spent over 7 years in the Ranger Regiment, serving in 2 Ranger battalions, as well as regimental headquarters, participating in the Best Ranger competition twice, and has over 7.5 years of command time with 11 operational and combat deployments to Haiti, Bangladesh, Iraq, and Afghanistan. The following passage from this article connects to the theme of unity. Mr. Glick writes, "In a time when our nation seems more divided than ever, veterans stand as a testament to unity. We come from a background where meritocracy reigns supreme, where the content of our character and our commitment to the mission far outweighs any differences in identity. We are first and foremost former military, then members of our respective branches, and finally defined by our specialties. Way down the list of how we identify are our personal identities. Our individual identities can be acknowledged and celebrated for the grand mosaic they create for our nation, but must take a backseat to what we hold paramount, our unity. We don't need symbols, special days, or months to know each one of us is important. We understand deeply that we need each other. Are there still issues within the service and among veterans? Yes, but they are far fewer than anywhere else because we are constantly reminded that this unity leads to failure. This is the first lesson taught when one enters service. You don't have to like your teammates, but you must respect them and be a good teammate, or you will fail. In the military, unity isn't a mere buzzword, it's a lifeline. We learned early on that our success, our very survival, depended on our ability to work together despite our differences. This lesson is drilled into every service member from day one. It's not just about teamwork, it's about a profound respect for each individual's role and the recognition that every member of the team is essential to the mission's success. This ingrained understanding of unity can serve as a powerful model for our nation. We can draw from our military experience to foster a sense of national unity. Consider the diverse backgrounds of those who serve, different races, religions, political beliefs, and socioeconomic statuses. Despite these differences, we manage to work together seamlessly because we focus on our common goal. This same principle can be applied to our country. We must focus on what unites us rather than what divides us.
This passage is called The Call for Unity. The following passage appeared a year ago on the Connecticut Public Radio. James Numnoon, the chaplain for the Veterans of Foreign Wars New Haven chapter, recited a hymn at New Haven City Hall. As his voice echoed, Protect the ones we love at home. Provide that they should always be thy own grace, both safe and freedom, Noom said. The Heim, originally meant for the Marines and sailors overseas, can also apply to veterans like Bridget Prince, who served in the U.S. Army during the 1980s. Prince took those lessons to heart after she was discharged due to a disability, becoming an advocate for veterans in Connecticut and for her neighbors in the Hartford area. She attended the annual Veterans Day commemoration, where she watched elected officials and veterans speak about veterans who serve and continue to serve, long after they've been discharged. Veterans like Prince who continue to advocate for their communities. These events are more needed than ever, especially when Americans are now much more politically divided, Prince said. New Haven Mayor Justin Illiker, who spoke at the ceremony, delivered a similar message. Our nation has been founded on a common belief that even though we are individuals, we can work as one. In fact, it is because we are individuals with differences that we are better as one, Illiker said. Prince joined the Army in 1982 at the age of 17 during the Cold War. She saw the impact domestic politics could have on the military, down to the types of decisions commanders were able to make. She is also frustrated by the struggles many veterans in Connecticut face, even as the state has worked to address those issues, from homelessness to medical care. Prince wants more affordable housing, built that would benefit veterans, and sometimes bristles at hearing people thank for her service, saying it can sometimes feel hollow. Being a veteran is an important part of her identity, and for Prince, it also means serving her neighbors. This is the status that you don't lose, and like I said, I want to be a veteran that continues to make a difference in my community and definitely in my country, Prince said.
The following passage was written by Bill Britt, who is an editor-in-chief at the Alabama Political Reporter. Veterans Day is more than just a celebration. It's a commitment to honor the values our veterans upheld. Our military is a diverse reflection of our nation itself, drawing together people from all walks of life, all backgrounds. For some, joining the service was a deeply personal calling. For others, especially in years past, their service was required through the draft. Yet, regardless of how they arrived in the uniform, all took an oath to uphold our Constitution, our nation's guiding document. For us as citizens, our commitment may be less formal, yet it is equally important. The Pledge of Allegiance, though optional, remains a powerful statement of loyalty. And in the United States, even this act is voluntary, a freedom protected by the very Constitution our veterans swore to defend. In West Virginia State Board of Education v. Barnett, the Supreme Court affirmed that no citizen can be compelled to recite the pledge, highlighting how individual freedom stands at the heart of American life. Veterans embody this balance between loyalty and liberty. Their patriotism is not just a display, but a genuine commitment to the good, a commitment seen in everyday service and in extraordinary acts of courage. True patriotism is not an empty gesture. It's a pledge to work together for our nation's prosperity, lifting up our fellow citizens along the way. In times of both war and peace, our veterans have been there, bound by duty. As citizens, we owe them our gratitude, not only through words, but through action that upholds the principles they defended. This Veterans Day, let us honor their legacy with more than words. As we conclude tonight's program, we would like to acknowledge all the different people who helped make this night possible. We want to thank Mr. Benigni, Ms. Batista, Mr. Boyle, Mr. Jesco, Mrs. Terlucky, Mr. Smith and his AV team, McKee custodial staff, Ms. Rollins, Mr. Brad Parsons, Mayor Kaczynski, Ms. Doyle, UP student ushers, Ms. Bradshaw, Rarely Johnson, McGee administration, and teachers. We also want to thank all the attending veterans here tonight and the veterans who are watching at home for your service and dedication to our great nation. Have a wonderful evening and please drive home safe.
the United States Army. The United States Marines. The United States Navy. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Kronk, and I'm the Social Studies Coordinator. I've been doing this program now for 10 years, and it's an honor to be part of this. I have had many family members. My great-grandfather was in World War I in France. My grandfather served, one of my grandfathers served in World War II in Japan. My other grandfather served in the Korean War. I've had many cousins, aunts. My best friend is stationed in Coronado right now in the U.S. Navy. So it's always been an honor and a privilege to be part of this program. I want to thank again the wonderful student performances tonight, the tech crew, everybody that's part of this program really does a wonderful job. I want to thank the audience for being a part of this. I do have an announcement that came on the email that I wanted to share with the audience as well, that the Berlin Upbeat is sponsoring and supporting a Berlin's Lion Club with Veterans Clothing and Goods Drive that runs from November 10th through the 15th. If you're interested in making donations, you can come to the high school, and there's donations you can drop off right at the front. If you don't want to bring them to the high school, also Kensington Opticians and Kensington Auto can also accept your donations as well. My wife and I every year donate to the veterans boxes upon boxes of goods, clothing, things of that, so I encourage you to do so if you get the chance. So thanks again for a wonderful evening. Have a lovely drive home and enjoy the rest of your evening.